Thanks, Nina. The headlines in the southeast today. A stark warning in Sussex that council services may have to be slashed. Remembering Matt, a memorial's unveiled in tribute to Sussex rugby coach Matt Ratner 4 years after he was shot and killed. And Surviving Suicide, a moving new film, explores the power of connection in improving mental health.
Just ring one of the helplines, speak to somebody, keep that conversation going.
Hello, welcome to the programme. I'm Ellie Crisell. More council services may have to be slashed. That's the stark warning from East Sussex County Council, thanks to what they say is a huge funding gap of more than £55 million. The council says rising demand and costs, coupled with a reduction in government funding, has left it with the most difficult financial outlook it's ever faced. A range of services are in the firing line, from day centres to training support for people with learning difficulties. Last week, the council's leader spoke of the challenges posed by the rising cost of adult social care.
The severity of people that come into care now, their needs are much greater than they were years ago. Their expectations are rightly more than they were before, and so providing those services add extreme cost.
Well, Claire Starr has been looking at the choices East Sussex faces. It's pretty stark, isn't it, Claire? And this could affect some of the most vulnerable people in the county.
Yes, there's a range of cuts proposed here, many of them frontline services, and the council knows it would have a significant impact on people. They include the closure of 2 day services for older people and 2 day centres, cuts to community support services and drug and alcohol recovery services. They're also considering a booking system for household waste recycling sites as well, for instance. Now, the pressures that East Sussex faces aren't unique. In recent months, we've heard about Medway, Kent, Eastbourne, so a double whammy for them there too. But factors like high numbers of an ageing population, pockets of deprivation and the county's economy means it's particularly pronounced in East Sussex, according to the council. But one of the county's MPs says it's local government funding that needs to be looked at.
If taxpayers' money is not being used to support people in these circumstances, then where exactly is it being used? These are the most vulnerable people in our society. We need to make sure that them and their services are protected, and that is why I will fight for them and urge the government to properly fund local government.
So, Claire, what's the likely time frame here?
Well, tomorrow morning, these proposals will be looked at by the councillors in charge, and they will decide whether to put them out to consultation. So that's when the public and the residents get to have their say on what may or may not be cut. In the meantime, the council says it will also continue to lobby the government for more sustainable funding, and we have asked the government for a response on that, but we're yet to hear from them.
Claire, thank you. A memorial stone dedicated to a police officer who was shot and killed on duty has been unveiled exactly 4 years after his death. Sergeant Matt Ratner, who was the head coach at East Grinstead Rugby Club, was murdered by a suspect at a custody centre. His family were at the ceremony in Croydon, from where Thomas McGill sent this report.
A memorial service for a hero and a friend, with traditional Mary singing and tributes from Sergeant Matt Ratner's son Luke, himself a serving police officer in Australia.
This line of work is like any other. We face dangers, challenges and stresses that few outside the force can truly understand.
Sergeant Matt Ratner's partner Sue called today a celebration of his life, his courage and his contribution to helping others, something his friends from East Grinstead Rugby Club would agree with.
The word that kept coming through for me was inspirational. He certainly was an inspirational character. There was a massive hole that was left after Matt departed. But one of his intentions was to start some local community programmes to help people at the local schools get more involved in rugby. And the foundation's worked tirelessly in making that happen.
It's one personal to me as one of Matt's friends, and I'm one of many who, as was said earlier, whose lives Matt has touched throughout his service, and also through sports as well. It's a sombre day, but a perfectly worded service.
This marble memorial will now be moved to outside the custody suite where Matt lost his life 4 years ago today, a reminder of his sacrifice to many others. Thomas McGill, South East Today.
Next, to survival stories from those who've come close to suicide. A moving new film explores how talking and listening can play a key role in recovery for those experiencing isolating conditions and dark thoughts. The documentary reunites several people who took part in a suicide prevention project in Folkestone 5 years ago, and how through connecting with others, they found their way back. Hannah Rowe reports.
Do you actually want to die? Or is it you just want to get away from the pain?
How do you find your way out of suicidal thoughts when it feels like the walls are closing in? Well, that's what these people managed to do. 5 years ago, they took part in a film where they shared their stories. Now a new film has brought them back together.
So much of my life has changed. It was really valuable to me to meet with people and sit and feel genuinely listened to, and that what I was sharing was important.
It's thought that 1 in 5 people experience suicidal thoughts. While 74% are comfortable talking with friends and family about their mental health, only 45% are comfortable sharing feelings of suicide.
Check in with people, be ready for a difficult answer maybe, but actually the earlier we have that conversation, the better the outcome potentially.
I think it's very important to talk about suicide, life problems.
The film aims to show how sharing those feelings with others is crucial to well-being.
You don't just get over something, it is with you. So how do you live having gone through this and continue? So it's not sort of 1 minute you're in a really dark place and the next minute you're skipping through fields. Actually, life is up and down, and it's about resilience and how we keep going.
I am relieved that I didn't do it. I'll be totally honest there. I really am. Thinking at the time with the suicidal thoughts that everyone would be better off without me. It wasn't the case. Just ring one of the helplines, speak to somebody, keep that conversation going. You need to talk about it.
So the message is clear. People will listen. You have to give them the chance to hear you. Hannah Rowe, BBC South East Today, Folkestone.
And if you've been affected by anything in that report, you can go to the BBC Action Line website. Now, an immersive art display highlighting the royal family has lit up Canterbury Cathedral. The Crown and Coronation exhibition depicts past and present members of the royal family. The cathedral says it aims to bring the spectacle and significance of the crown and crown jewels to life. The footage of more than 1,000 years of royal history includes monarchs King Henry VIII and Queen Elizabeth II. How lovely. Time now for a look at the weather. Nina is with us. What's it doing next?
I know, it's going to keep raining for the next couple of days. And of course, given the heavy downpours that we had at the weekend, the ground is saturated, so we could see the possibility of some further flooding. But the weather will change once again then as we look to the weekend. There are some showers out there at the moment, and they will continue to come and go during the next couple of hours. Temperatures reaching highs of around 15 to 16 degrees. I think we will see the showers clear for a time this evening, but the wet weather is never too far away, and even as we head into tomorrow morning, the possibility of some showers is with us. It will be a fairly mild start to tomorrow morning with temperatures in double figures at 12 to 13 degrees. Now, in between any showers tomorrow, there could just be some occasional bright spells, but at times these showers are likely to be quite heavy, and temperatures tomorrow are a little up on today's values with slightly more sunshine tomorrow. I think we'll see highs of 17 to 18 degrees. But then some more persistent and widespread rain is set to fall during Thursday night and into Friday. It's as that low pressure clears away that we will start to see a change for our weekend as it turns drier, but also much colder, Ellie.
Bit of a mixed bag there, Nina. Thank you very much. Well, in South East Today at 6:30.
Ellie and Peter!
We catch up with Strictly Come Dancing's reigning champion Ellie Leach. The former Corrie actress is set to swap the mambo for murder this month as she sachets into Eastbourne and also Guildford to star in Cluedo 2, the next chapter. She'll be interviewed in a room with a camera by Ian Palmer. That's it. Back now to Nina. Bye-bye.